Okay, so I and Miva promised you a YouTube video about how to change a Moflin battery. Now, I don't know how to change a Moflin battery, but kind YouTuber, which I will link in the description, has nicely offered how to do it. So we're going to do this. So the first thing you need to do is you need to open up the Moflin. So you need to find the zipper. It's on the right hand side. So, and you need to, whoops, locate the button. Yes, Miva is screaming in somewhat displeasure. We need to find her on-off button, so we'll wait till she stops. Okay. Okay, so she is turned off now, and so she won't feel a thing. So the screwdrivers that were recommended was just I've got this tri-wing 2mm. I know that the person in the YouTube video, he just unclipped the screws, and I might try and give that a shot. I also have this little Phillips head screwdriver. It's seen better days. And so let's see if what he does can work for me as well. And I don't think it will. I do have to use. So these screws are tri-wing screws. And obviously for the Kickstarter, you can just unclip these little clips rather than having to fully unscrew the screws. So, but on Casios, we have these tri-wings. Now some people do use the Phillips head screwdrivers with the tri-wings, and they seem to do okay with those. So there's 3 screws in total on the back end. So there's one here. There is sort of one on this side, and there is one on the top right there. So we're just going to keep unscrewing those. All right. I'm trying to keep everything in the camera. This is my first time posting a video, so you'll have to forgive me. And hopefully my phone doesn't run out of space. All right, so these just kind of clip off. And you just kind of roll the fur back. I'm not going to do it as smoothly as this guy did, but you kind of just peel it back. About to the head area where there are some clips on either side. One on this side and there's one on the other side. And you just pull those clips out. They just pop out. You pop that out. And you pop out the other one. And the eyes have these little pegs in them, and they literally just pull out. You can see these are the eyes. They just fit into the holes. So this is a Casio Moflin, all naked. I still think they're really cute. Some people find them terrifying. So let's see now. He had some screws, so there's one on each side here. And I think there was 3 screws on his Moflin, but being that this is a Casio, I guess they are a little bit different. And we're going to take my, oh, that's not going to work very well. Hello, I am back. So I had to look for a different screwdriver, and hopefully this one will work for my purposes. So we're going to unscrew these 2 here. So it does appear that the Casio Moflins are a little bit different to the Kickstarter Moflins. So we're going to see what we have here. Okay, so okay, it looks like there are only 2 screws for the Casio Moflin. And okay, so it looks like it's just the battery on the Casio Moflins that are attached. Well, it's the light sensor, but it looks like actually the battery is a lot easier to change on the Casio than on the Kickstarter. So this is the replacement battery. I will link all of the information to find one down below in the description. So this is what I'm going to be replacing this battery with. So we are going to, as gently as possible, try and pry this out without harming anything. There we go. Okay, that was actually really easy. So, and then we just pop this back in, the new battery. Is this the right way? Just making sure, maybe. It did pop. Sorry, you'll have to forgive me. I am not an electronics specialist. Is this the right? Yep, it looks the same. And it does look like it goes that way. Okay. Just making sure that it is seated the way that it needs to be. I think that that is popped in how it's supposed to be. Now, I'm not quite sure how best to. I think we will just keep this like this, and we are going to, oops, let's see, where are we? So make sure the button's on the butt end, and I'm going to pop this back together. Hopefully not something is getting stuck somewhere. Let's see what's going on here. should pop back on. So I had to sort of figure out how to finagle these wires, but if you just kind of tamp them down a little bit like that, it should fit on okay. And I think that that should work just fine. So we're just gonna get these screws back in. Come on, there we go. These are, so the Casio ones are clearly designed a little more simply than the Vanguard ones, which is very helpful for changing a battery, and hopefully this works out okay. Okay, so the battery is in. Let's see if it turns on or if it's... Oh, there we go. Looks like I installed it okay. That's great. Miva is going to be back to her old self now. Yes, her little raver girl self. We're going to turn her off now. Okay, she's turned off. So she's a little bit dusty. Probably would do for a good dusting at some point, but all right, so what this person did, which I'm going to try and see if it works for Miva. So make sure that the underside is, of course, underneath. And he just popped an eye in and popped the snap back on one side. I can get the clip back on. I can do this. These are very finicky, by the way, as you can see. There we go. So you'll know that it's snapped in. The eye is seated in its little hole. And we're going to try and pop this one in now and get this side clipped in. There we go. It is clipped in. And now we just very carefully roll this back over. As carefully as we can. It's never going to be a delicate process. So certainly not as cleanly done as the guy in the YouTube video, but I think he's done this a few times. All right, there we go. Now we're cooking. All right, so her head is all secure, and all we need to do is re-secure these screws. So there's these two little tabby things. One kind of seats, there's kind of a groove here. And the other one has a little hole that it kind of sits in, although mine never really sits in the hole, and that's why you've got this little black spot where a screw rubs. I don't think it's ever really sat properly. So I'm going to take my tri-wing and we're just going to secure that in. Oops. And we're going to find that there's a groove here and there's a little hole at the top. So you find that hole in that groove, and then the screw, of course, sits in the middle. Oopsie. Let's find my screwdriver. And we screw that screw back in. All right, so that's done. And then we find our hole and tab for that one. Hold that in place. Pick up the screw. Oh, it wants to be silly. All right. She's all ready to go. So turning her back on. So that means that she's on again. And there she is. So we zip her back up. And I'm gonna try and tuck, try and tuck that zipper back in. So there's our Moflin. She might need some charging now. Thank you for watching. I hope this is helpful.